Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Big V Big Pre-Game Show. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm John Mack, and here I am today with my usual co-host Baz.
Hello.
And special interviewer, guest, Liam.
Hey John, how are we?
Yes, good, thanks, mate. We're going to have to all huddle around this mic so we can get some good sound volume going. But we're leading into the 6th Big V tournament. And it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
This is the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. I'm looking forward to it all year. Like you, Liam?
Yeah. I reckon I might have actually been to every Big V. So
Wow.
it's pretty exciting. Back in the Ringwood days when it was a walk away from me.
Okay.
So
You would have been like 10.
yeah, it's true. We actually have to talk about our new award for coaches who are only 10.
That is
Wow.
correct, yeah.
So
Just to immediately, let's run it down. This is the biggest Big V we've ever seen. 170 players.
Yep, and I
Give or take.
Yep, and I think it's going to probably be the biggest tournament ever in the Southern Hemisphere.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And one thing I really like to see is there's 57 brand new players who have never come to the Big V before. So that's a great sign. And 25 people who this will be their very, very first tournament.
Yeah, so there's, going through all the numbers, there's a lot of people who this is the only tournament they play each year. Like, so, it's always a great tournament.
Yeah.
We always have great fun. And the venue that Johnny's got, the drill hall, is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And Baz has got to get some wins somewhere. So
Exactly.
57 newbies to pick up.
Yeah. Well,
Excited.
this tournament has everything from, some of the best players in Australia to it's your first game. So someone could have quite a startling first round.
Yeah, well, last year I got Rabbit up first round, so hopefully I just get a nice...
Another nice easy start.
Well, let's just say, Rabbit was pretty easy to draw. He was lucky to get the draw, let's be honest. But, it's always good to get the people, if it's your first tournament, look, don't come in with much expectations. You're going to have a blast. It is just everyone in the community is really great, and everyone's out just to have a really good time.
And we're here today, really, to give you some stats, some inside goss. Liam and Baz have both been the ones to meticulously go through every list. Liam, like a madman, has gone through every skill chosen out of 170 odd lists and notarized those. He's still all right.
Honestly, I did. At the end, there were a couple strong arms where I went, I'm a bit sick of seeing another halfling team that took strong arm. But other than that,
yeah,
I was quite meticulous with making sure I got every skill down. So
yeah, and obviously today we're not going to go through 170 lists here. So we decided, well, Baz, how did you...
Well, we've kind of just gone, we're just going to pick out what would say, like the heavy hitters, and also the people that, the scary teams in the room, and also good examples of, what's out there.
Archetypes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone we were going to go, everyone's going to know who the coaches the teams that we've got here, everyone knows who they are. And it also just gives you a really good example of what is most likely to come up against.
Yep, 100%. So I think we're going to get into it now. I did make a note here just to say, although this is the Big V pre-show, opinions here are not endorsed by Johnny.
No.
Johnny the TO.
We can say whatever we want.
Yeah, so this is, official, unofficial.
Like, we're all players here, so we can shit talk as much as we want.
And it'll come back to bite us.
Yeah.
And we're on table 73. Day 2.
Hey, look, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happened to you last year, didn't it, John?
Absolutely, it did. Well, all right, I'm going to now drop us down. So as requested from previous shows, you will be able to see, for those who are watching on YouTube and not just listening, this will be useful information.
Yeah.
So we're going to start from the top here. Moving down, actually, I'll go big screen. Oh. And I'm going to go full screen here. And here we are.
elite professionalism there, John.
No, it's good. It's good work.
Yeah.
So I thought we could start by just some thoughts about the player pack in general. It's yeah,
Well, I mean, the player pack's been pretty much the same for quite a number of years. So 1.1 plus tiering and skills. And Johnny's been doing recently the Big V star player. So we've had Plugger last year, which was Mighty Zug, just rebranded. But this year we've got Merv, who was it? It's the Thor Stout Mead. That cheaper.
Yeah.
That cheaper.
yeah. What do you think of Merv as a star player? I've got his card here, this very professional card. To me, I looked at it, I thought, well, how often was he taken? You guys would know.
He was taken.
popular?
It was 12 times, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep, 12 times.
Which was interesting because I was actually discussions on balancing him. Which is interesting because we're trying to think about, okay, what's going to get people wanting to play him. Maybe we'll make him a bit cheaper. I'm actually really impressed by how many people did end up taking Merv. There's some interesting potentials with him. His special rule, for those who don't know, is that once per drive, it's almost like he can throw brew, which is kind of like almost like throwing a bomb kind of thing. So you select an opposition player within 3 squares, roll a d6 on a 3-up, you knock him over. So
Yeah, it's a bomb.
yeah,
Very plus
just think of it like a bomb.
Yeah,
If
very
you
plus
come up against it, makes you reread it, but it's similar to a bomb.
And on a 1, he knocks
And
himself
yeah,
down.
he does knock himself down.
Yeah, well.
It's risky because if a star player, I mean, obviously you've put a lot of effort into creating the actual mini, but it's risky for the tournament because imagine if there was a mistake and he's overpowered, you could ruin a whole tournament.
Oh yeah.
You could. If you read in and you had 170 times someone chose that. And
His
you're, oh,
stats aren't actually good, but his bomb ability is good.
Yeah,
To be
strength
fair, he's strength 3, move 6, so that's fine.
strength 3 block
Yeah, and he's got block.
and a bomb once a turn. So it's like a lineman with block and Cindy rolled into one.
Mm.
It's fine. Like armor 8 is low,
yeah.
but like I think we were talking about it a lot. Like he's probably best used to be taking out big guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and just chipping away at cage corner.
That's what I thought. I was like, is this a kind of hypno gaze or
Yeah.
Yeah, just knock him down, and then you can blitz a ball carrier.
But it's at the start of your turn, so it's not as easy as all that. So it'll be interesting. The other, special rule this year is Bay 13 feral fans.
Which is I think one of the best.
You love it.
I love it.
It's very fun.
because fan factor is just a non everyone forgets
That's true.
what everyone. So now you're rolling the dice, you're getting plus or minus, basically moving the line of scrimmage essentially, and you're getting +1 to if you surf their players in your home ground, and it's -1 to surfs in your. So it's +1, -1.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic because it's then, so teams like Corn and Dark Elves and things like that, it will matter where you surf the player.
Yeah.
It also, interestingly, like it's often quite hard to explain, through words, but I feel like the diagrams that Johnny's put up are really good if you're a bit unsure about how it works. And also on the day, there should be a marker that you'll be able to move forward and back.
Very cool.
So basically, yeah, if you're winning the fans, you'll get more territory, so you'll move into their side, and if they're winning the fans, they move into your side. So you that'll be really handy because it will be super easy.
Imagine the excitement when you've set up a surf and it's into your crowd, and you're like, this is it. This is going to be glorious.
No, so that's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that a lot as well. And Merv does interact with that, and he gives. What's he giving?
Oh, yes, he gifts it.
He helps.
Increases your fan factor for that purpose. Yeah.
So that also can help.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, that's a little special rule for Merv.
Oh, it's nice that it integrates.
Well, there you go. He gets it's +1. Right, there you go. 120 overpowered.
But beyond that, as you say, it's a pretty normal pack, but slightly less gold than normal.
Yeah, one
I would
point.
say.
I think 1.1.
It's on the low side of normal.
It makes you make difficult decisions.
They're horrible.
I do actually come. Well, yeah, I do. Me and John are both playing Dark Elves, so we definitely feel it. But it's kind of nice in that some teams like Dark Elves or most of the elves, even your Necro, I feel like have this. They often just have so much cash that they kind of. They get a bit stronger than they would be at just a 1 million,
Yeah.
like in the league.
Yeah, true.
Which always is interesting compared to like a Camry who only need the 1 million or Orcs who only need the 1 million.
Yeah.
I feel like it really helps those teams.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, well, we made an orc list and we were like, oh, we can just buy
Block for everything.
whatever we need.
Blocking guard for all. It's like,
yeah.
there's nothing left. It's like, I've got everything.
Yeah.
That was, what was it? 4 big-ins, 4
Four
blitzers, a throw with block, and 3 linemen. And we're like, and 3 rerolls.
Done.
Like,
Job done. Yeah.
it's
Well, there'll be more orc news shortly.
yes,
Just being involved.
Let's go down first. This is a high-level breakdown of the lists, obviously by tier and also by bash dash hybrid stunty. I mean, one thing going into this year is I think everyone assumed that dodge teams would be. Everyone was telling me it's all going to be about the dodge, and I don't know if that's just because of the Amazons or there was.
And it's also the nerf to Chaos Dwarf, so there's less tackle just
Right.
in general.
Yeah,
Right.
And so if there's no tackle, dodge reigns free.
But here we see
Yeah.
20% of the lists, even though some of the elves were down in tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's still
It's
Uh,
I
bash because these hybrid teams,
yeah.
I feel, lean towards bash if anything.
Yeah,
Is that-
and you're not scoring quickly with most of the hybrid teams. You're trying to wait out the half.
Yeah, I think looking at all, it's very, well, we can go down to it. I actually think it's actually pretty like level. Like there's no outstanding like, oh, this team is absolutely
Correct.
the best,
Correct.
and you just take that.
Yeah.
So it's actually, I always find it.
Yeah.
And also I find people in Australia, in Victoria, we like variety. Like that's the thing. I don't think anyone's particularly meta chasing.
No, sometimes
We can get to that a bit later.
it's remarkable that you do get a tournament where just by sheer luck you don't get a lot of the same teams. It's as if people turn up to an event and be like, too many orcs here, I'm changing. Too many, no, I'm changing. I want something.
Oh,
Yeah, it ends up being remarkably evenly distributed.
I think in general most BloodBowl players like to be their own.
We're,
Special snow.
we're all unique.
We're all
Yeah.
all unique.
Yeah.
Snowflakes.
But see, I also think though, Big V especially, you see lots of coaches just taking kind of like that bread and butter. Like I think, yeah. Generally,
Interestingly that you bring this up. So out of all the coaches, the 170 that we have, only 11 have played their side that they're taking more than 20 times.
that does surprise me.
Only, I think it was more than 10 was like only maybe 25. It was really low. I looked at
That
it.
is very surprising.
I looked at it and I went, what? Really? Because I'm the most experienced coach with 53 with halflings.
See, I don't think I've actually played. No, I've played vampires more than 20 times, but that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing. It is actually hard to amass more than 20.
Now you're talking about 20 recorded
NAF
NAF games,
games.
but I'm sure.
Yeah, sometimes.
So obviously people would be taking, your lead team or whatever.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm just talking about the NAF tournament recorded games. But I still thought 10. 10's an easy number to get to, but no.
Yeah.
Really like, because people like to try new things.
Yep.
No,
Absolutely.
Absolute freaks. What are they doing? Just play the same style.
There's some stunty coach. There's some
Play
stunty coaches.
into the ground. You just ram it into the ground.
I'm hoping, because you only have played halflings, and I'm hoping you either
I have played.
become
Other-
I hope you either win the big V and quit your dumb halflings, or lose so badly.
Everyone's seen Baz's Cup.
Oh, gee.
Sadly,
This was such a disaster for us all.
So, okay. If I win.
Baz won most touchdowns, I guess. What is it, Stunty Cup? What did you get?
Yeah, I'll put it in. If I win Big V with halflings, I will retire the Fitzroy Flyers for good.
Hooray.
But I have to win it.
Oh, God.
Not Stunty Cup, none of the, win the lot.
What if you just only win one game? Will you also retire? Oh, God.
It's not my fault.
So someone would
It's not
definitely
my fault.
throw. Someone would definitely throw.
It's not my fault. It's the dice's fault.
All right, let's move on to the real deal. This is what races were chosen and how much, with a comparison between last year and this year, and then a little extra feature of the top 25 highest ranked coaches. What did they choose?
Well, from last year. What did they choose last year?
Oh, yeah.
So what was the top 25?
Oh,
finish
top 25
for
last year. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. Okay. Yeah, that's not very useful.
No. It shows us which teams were good last year. Like there were 3 Amazons in the
Okay.
top 25.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the biggest takeaway out of this stuff is Skaven last year
With a bullet.
with 2 was just stupidly low, and I don't even know why it was low last year. Nothing has changed. They haven't even changed skill rank.
Well, haven't they dropped down to tier 2?
They have to this
That was
Yeah,
they
yeah,
tier
that's
one last year.
This is the whole thing
Skaven
about it.
definitely are like generally a tier 1 team. So
Now,
there was quite a bit of discussion on like the behind the scenes should Skaven get dropped because there were not many, and I think that's also partly resolved Underworld. Coaches who like Skaven would just play Underworld because they were
the same but better. I did a little background research. I saw that in BloodBowl, which was just run last month, Skaven were also down in tier 2. So I wondered if there was a link there, or was it just because they were so unpopular last year? Felt
They're always a popular side. This is the thing. They're always they're one of the most played sides.
And saying that, we have by a factor of 6. Now we've gone from 2 last year to 12 is the number this year.
But the flip side of that is you get something like Citizens, and look at that, gone from 7
all the way down the bottom there.
to 1.
Yeah.
Because swarming change, so you can no longer use swarming for a Citizen, and it's just completely
It's amazing.
Now they're an actual normal team.
Yes.
And they're not they're not overpowering as they were, and everyone's just dropped off because to be honest, they're a difficult team, just more to collect.
Well, I was also going to say, this is my opinion, they're not very fun to play with.
No.
They're actually quite a horrible team to use. So then if they're not going to win, get out of here.
They're very much like, and even and it'll be interesting, we will look at the Underworld list later, taken by one of our invading New Zealand coaches. But yes.
Have they heard about the changes?
We'll have to make sure someone lets. We'll have to make sure someone.
I'm going back home.
Someone send them a letter.
Yes. No, it's going to be interesting though because lots of people have talked about how Underworld you kind of almost playing a lot for the one turn and just playing to like completely foul opposition to death, kind of like your Snotlings. So. Like you said, John, it's really so not fun. Just like sometimes you just give up on the ball. I'm gonna take 4 of their players out, and then I'll score a 1 turn.
Yeah.
And I'll stall out the next turn.
Sounds really fun.
Who would do that? Who would do that? Yeah, but it's way more funny when it's like a bunch of short, fat guys.
Yeah.
It's like rats and goblins.
That's true. And also, what do we have here? So Chaos Dwarves, obviously, with the changes. So no tackle, but let's be honest, they're a worse side. But
That remains to be seen.
I still think
Right?
no, they're worse.
No.
To be honest, though, actually, I have played 1 game against Choffs so far, and the Ironheart skin is so annoying.
Oh my god, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, they'll give up. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the Choffs play because they'll give up 60 blocks and just not even care. They'll be like,
Yeah, I'm on the ground. I can be gang fouled. Oh yeah, I'm a 10. Okay.
yeah, whatever.
This fire-breathing centaur
No.
thing, did that do anything? Or what is it? No, there's a centaur and there's
The fire breathing. The Centaurs can get mutations now, which honestly, it's okay, but they cost a lot of cash.
Okay.
And in this, it's 2 skills, so I don't think it's that good getting mutations. But yeah, it's.
Yeah, the fire breather, what do they get? Disturbing presence, and you can knock someone down on 3+, 5+ does something bad.
not cutting it.
There
Well,
were a lot of fire breathers with Pro though.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I believe in Pro.
redemption.
The people have spoken. Chaos Dwarves cut in half despite, and remember, for all these numbers, there's a lot of more people this year, so it's even worse than it looks.
And then
Let's see.
Orcs, because they got promoted to tier 1, rightly so.
Mm.
Well,
Well, Orcs actually
No,
actually tier 2 last year.
They were.
Really?
yeah.
Yep, and
I hate Orcs.
I hate Orcs. I played them 3 times last year. I believe I lost all 3 games. Maybe I got a draw, and I've never really gotten over that.
So I had to practice with John with Orcs because he was just like, I can't. I have to play against this side because I came up against 3 times. I'm not gonna have this again. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat this fucking stupid green skin side.
For me, they are 60% of the meta, but I'll never play them again. Probably.
No. The other interesting one
Norse.
was.
Can we talk about Norse?
Well,
What's this?
what's your opinion on this, Luke?
I actually think Norse are really good as like a. I think Norse are partly a reaction to what was good last year. Like the Norse rosters are really good against Zons, and the amount so funny. The amount of Zon coaches who have told me, "Oh, you know, Norse are really broken." It's like, yeah,
Yeah, well,
And if you are not,
Kettle.
we should say they've gone from 3 last year to 11 coaches. It's
Yeah.
the second largest jump.
It's kind of one of these things. It's like what was good last year. I don't care what was good last year, as long as whatever's good this year beats what was good last year.
Yes.
Yeah, so like it's the Patriots, right? Everyone hated the Patriots when they were winning. Now everyone hates the Chiefs.
Of course. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'll just say that on record. Big Chiefs fan, yeah. What else? Chaos Chosen. This is interesting. And Chaos Renegades? Explain that.
I think Renegades, I had a look. It's a lot of
This is their new players.
new coaches, and to be honest, Renegades are a laugh to play,
they are very fun.
but God, they are so swinging.
Yeah.
Like
They do get a lot of. Both these teams actually do get a lot of skills though.
Yeah, what are they tiered? Do you know?
tier
3.
Right.
And they definitely were accounting for some weird skills.
Yeah.
So
So I think someone put Ironheart skin in their case.
that is one of the Ironheart skin
Yeah.
selections was on one of those teams.
Renegades, yeah. Ironheart skin Dark Elf. Ooh, that'd be nice. With horns.
Lizard Men are up.
Yeah,
Noticeably.
Elizabeth are always a popular side.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, what, six Sauruses, 1 Crocs, and a couple of Skinks. Like, it's always good.
Lizard Men can struggle a bit with I think it's going to be interesting to see how they go in the teams that are really going to beat you up and play the numbers games. When you look at the top there, Skaven, Necro, Undead, all really do play the numbers games. So it'll be interesting to see how all these teams, how the Lizards face up against them for sure.
And for our less experienced coaches, so that when we're saying the numbers game, we're kind of meaning like you'll get a couple casualties, and it's like, okay, now it's 9v11. I'm just going to press that 11 of it, that 2-person advantage. I'm just going to base you up, just basically make you make blocks, make you make dodges, make your life difficult, and then if you get on the ground, foul you, things like that. Yeah. But we can probably talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into the lists very soon. I suppose interesting is that Amazons, despite being so successful last year, not really.
Yeah, 5 to only 1 extra. Like that was it. And I think two of the top guys are taking him again. Like no one really got on the bandwagon. Everyone just hates them.
Honestly, as well, people are just limited by what they have. Like it's same with vampires. Everyone's like, oh, I remember people were guessing what the most popular teams were. Lots of people, vampires and Amazons, but people just don't own them.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting to think of.
Like Black Orcs are obviously very popular because people buy the box.
Yeah.
Although nobility. Although nobility. No.
Wow.
No, nobility have 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad. I mean, they are complete garbage.
Yeah, they are.
So
they are every time I try to use them, they are trash.
And just for the record, the top 5 most chosen teams that you will expect to play quite a bit of are Skaven, Necro, Norse, Shambling Undead, Lizardmen. Unbuttable?
Yeah.
Lists?
Yeah.
That's what's coming right next. So, let's shuffle away from this. And
Speaking of undead rosters,
we're going to drop this
we're
away.
gonna find. Well, actually, you know who we could look at first? We could look at a Merv roster.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can find Sweeto's roster.
Okay, here we go.
This is
Sweeto.
Joel
Point it to me.
who came
Right up to Sweeto.
who came fourth with vampires in 2 years ago, I think, at the Big V. With like old, terrible vampires. There he is.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rosters to look through.
Yeah. So Big Merv's Elvin Bruin. Yeah. Yeah.
Brunion. I think that's it.
Yeah, he's come up with some stupid brew styled names.
Yeah.
This is
Elvin Union with Merv. And this is the sort of team where you think, okay, take out a corner of the cage. I'm off.
Yeah, well, so usually elves can't get access to Bomber. So that's why, because Merv can go on any team. It's quite cool. Elven Union also not the most expensive in terms of elf teams. And you're also tier 2, so you get a decent amount of skills. So this, like, you look at this roster, it's got...
okay, so if you can take out a corner, that wrestle tackle piece comes in.
Yep.
And you're away.
Yeah, and you're off. And they got 12 players.
There's a steal. There's a steal on the catches. Oh, that's... and pass. Yep. 2 throwers.
We saw Elven Union come... Piano Dan came third with them last year. And it'll be interesting to see... There's quite a few Elven Union teams. We actually will look at another. Quite a few people are taking Elven Union and High Elves because they are tier 2.
Yep.
So it kind of gives you a couple extra skills. And in this case, tier 2 means you go to tier 1 because you've got Merv.
Yeah. But that's pretty... Yeah, I can see where you're going
12
with that.
players.
12 players, 2 rerolls, Merv, corner catch. And it's another block piece because they only have 2 block places.
Yeah, which is definitely handy.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right.
Yeah, okay, we're going to bring up the list that everyone's thinking about. Last year's winner.
Yeah.
Last year's winner.
Okay, so that is
Fodes.
Fodes.
F-O.
Got a hit list down here.
Yeah, we're going to get this.
Okay.
But this is
So this is last year's winner.
This is last year's winner who went 6-0. 6-0-0
Wow.
with Zons, and I think it's the same list. I actually don't think there's actually.
I don't remember if he changed anything.
I don't think he has because all he's basically done is taken 2 blockers with a couple of skills. So he's got 1 carrier, 1 blitzer, 1 lineman who's the fowler.
Yeah.
Bribe, the rest linewoman 3. So he's got 14 with Amazons, 14 players with Amazon. He's playing the Falcon.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So basically what he does, he gets that wrestle piece and the tackle piece. So the tackle mighty blow block is to take out the other person's ball carrier. The block short hands is to carry the ball. The wrestle is to get someone on the ground and then gang foul. So on defense, he's just getting someone on the ground, gang fouling it, and just going, oh, I've got more players than you.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And just playing the numbers game. So once he gets, down to say 8 v 10, well, he's ahead.
It's such a scary list to look at.
Oh, it's also the way Fode plays it.
Right.
Fode's very good. Well, the one weakness I'd say is everyone is only MA6, so it doesn't actually move the ball well. Like if you score turn 5, they're not necessarily going to get into the end zone too well. It moves the ball good in the sense that it has a strength 4 blodge, defensive ball carrier, which is so obnoxious to sack. But it's not necessarily the quickest, but obviously Fode does position really well. I think the weaknesses for this team is definitely its maneuverability and potentially, like, they're still Amazons, they still can be squishy, you still can actually kind of keep up a bit with number removing on the field.
And maybe, during a drive, he might have players in the box, but for this drive when he needs them, you've removed some.
And if you ever can knock out the warriors, the blockers.
Yeah, the blockers, if you can take them down, you've got problems.
And don't get me wrong, Fode is an amazing player, one of the best players I've played, but he did play 2 halflings in the last 2 rounds last year. So I'm I'm hoping we get.
That's right, because he played Clay and
He played Clay,
and
which
Block.
Clay good, but it's not like Halfling's gonna have
You're
tackle.
basically saying he got a bit of a walk into the, just a bit of a.
There's some rosters here that I'd love to see Fode come up against because I think he could still beat him. But I think it'd be more interesting than like a Halfling.
My next question was going to be, what kind of team beats this team?
I think that's why people like Norse.
Yeah.
Norse, you reckon?
Yeah, because of all the block. How much block do you see here? 0. Well, two people who are your main people who you do not actually want to be getting. You don't actually particularly want to be blocking. Well, the block mighty blow tackle, that's your blitzer piece, but he's not going to leave that out on its own. He's going to missile that in and run it back because if you put that out in the open, you're going after it.
And the Norse can play the numbers game right back. Like they can have bench because they got just as cheap linemen. So Norse. I reckon that's why people like playing.
Yeah,
Norse.
so it's like the Norse is basically you can get a lineman with block and the exact same stats for the same price.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should look at the Arquebus.
Yes, came 12th with Goblins last year.
Yeah, Hachi.
So playing a real team this time.
So this is Hachi.
Good example of a kind of exemplary Norse list. Why are Norse scary?
Now, the problem that Hachi's going to probably get into, because we went up to BloodBowl, so you guys won't know. So we went up to BloodBowl last year. Hachi got into a bit of a conversation with Nick at the RSL.
Yes.
Till 2 a.m. in the morning. Got kicked out of the RSL. Didn't turn up day 2.
So what? He went 3-0 instead of.
So he did. Yeah. So hopefully he turns up day 2 this time.
I see he brought.
I think we should get Hachi, Squirrely Dan. We'll get Magneto.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we leave Johnny's name wherever they go, so we know who to call.
I have, in my times, I've heard a lot of shit spoken. Jeez, these guys. Rabbiting on something great. Anyway, back to his list. But you can see here, look at this. Block guard, block short hands, wrestle, tackle, 3 re-rolls. 16 players. Is that 16 players?
No,
15 players.
He skipped some numbers.
Yeah.
But 15.
God, that's annoying. I didn't think you could.
Yeah, actually, I think it's just 14.
Wow.
He skipped a bunch of numbers.
Players.
Okay, 14 players and 2 beer balls. But you get 3 decent blitzers, and he's also put a blitzer Valkyrie and a ball carrier Valkyrie.
They're kind of a weird copy of the Zons in that rather than taking the bribes, they just take the beer balls who can just vow and not care if they get sent.
Yeah.
And then they got the Ulfs who are kind of like the Amazon the strong Amazon ladies. And then you got the Valkyries as well are really good in that strip ball can definitely be really handy against some teams if they don't have sure hands.
Oh, can we take a detour? Strip ball versus sure hands.
Yes.
Just looking at your skill breakdown, if I remember right, it did favour, obviously there was more sure hands.
Yeah.
So strip, but no, I think you had 40.
So I think there were 24 additional copies of sure hands. And then if I'm remembering it right, this is a rough estimation. I think you would have about... I'm trying to think of teams which have sure hands natively are what? Orcs, humans.
Which is 11.
Another.
Yeah, so that's another 11. So you're probably having about 45 or so teams have sure hands.
That's what I thought. So if you've gone the strip ball route, you have
17 people. I think it was 17.
Yeah.
It was around there.
Basically 2 out of 3 games, you're going to be laughing.
Yeah,
you'll be like, Jesus
definitely
Christ.
helpful. And I think I don't know, I definitely think sometimes people take strip ball too much. There's a few strip ball chaos pieces, which I am not a believer in. But strip ball on your faster teams can be really, really helpful. And also, on the Valkyries, it's kind of free. It's not, you're not paying full price for it.
But then you look at this list and you go, how do you beat this list? And you go, well, it's the same problem with Amazons. It's not that fast. No, but it's got block everywhere.
It does.
And it's just
Still get beat up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Armour 8.
Armour 8 everywhere. So they are big glass cannon. But block saves all.
Maybe that takes us to our next...
Or
maybe Undead, a team that is notoriously resilient and notoriously hard to beat up.
Yes.
You know, you got regen everywhere except on the ghouls.
Yep. There we go, Mr. Webb.
Ah, Matt Webb.
Yeah.
He's been doing very well recently, hasn't he?
Yeah. So he recently won the Strike Bowl, Southern Strike Bowl. He went
Country tournament, local.
yeah, like basically the Bendigo of
West Bendigo.
West Bendigo.
I believe this is sarcasm.
No,
No.
not at all. No. So, but we had two. I think it was two Vic players went over, and they
Yes.
finished 1 and 3.
Huh.
So and it was and we'll get to the list, but it was Prosecco with a joke list with halflings.
Mm.
Finish. Come on, man. Like it's just
Well, this is a
give us something.
all right. Undead. This is interesting. Guard,
Yep.
block, tackle, mighty blow, block on the ghouls.
Hmm.
So a couple blodgers. What's missing here?
Nothing.
No.
It's three re-rusts in, but you look at this and I go, right, what's the weakness of this list? It's 12 players. Right, 12 players with three. So it's like, when you get up against Amazons, you get a couple of the blitzers and the ghouls on the ground, they're getting fouled.
Yeah, but at the same time, they do have regen. So I think 12 is like enough. I don't think 12 is too few. I think it's enough. I do think, though, I mean, Undead, they're a bit of a jack of all trades of teams. Like, they're not as bashy as orcs. But they're obviously not as elfy as elves. But sometimes that can leave them kind of in the middle, not knowing what they're supposed to do.
No sure hands inside. I
That's
thought
true.
you would take sure hands on a ghoul. Isn't that traditional?
I mean,
Nah, it's just
you got a lot of skills you want though, right? Like
Yeah.
blocks good. You do have 3-year-olds, so you can kind of just go.
But like if you're fumbling the ball, you only need to pick it up once.
Yeah.
To be honest, you really don't want your ball carrier like getting hit. So
Yeah.
if your ball carrier doesn't get hit, sure hands ain't.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, that's such a but
Yeah, that's a bit of a cop out. But
Yeah,
it's just like
Yeah.
just pick up just roll
just
roll,
don't let them hit the ball.
just roll 1 3+ and you're fine.
Yeah.
Or as any Tomb King player will tell you, just roll 1 4+ and you're fine.
I love sidestep as a skill, but I'm always being told if you played properly, you wouldn't be using sidestep.
Well, yeah.
That's
It can be helpful, but sometimes when if you just get powed, it
yeah,
doesn't help that much. does it?
yeah.
So no.
Yeah,
Well-
but obviously Matt. I mean, this is very good. And he went. Oh, what did he finish last year? He finished very high last year with this list as well. And obviously,
He was high last year. He was higher the year before, I think, with like broken stuff.
but can I just point out his great team name? If you just scroll up a bit,
This is what Matt's teams are always called.
Big V Undead. I just love it. Just completely imaginative. Just going with it.
Well, that is what we've used them for. They are the exemplary Big V Undead.
Can we look at a list I'm interested in?
Yeah.
Prosecco
Ah,
on a tear, and
Yeah.
he is playing Snotlings.
Just the worst team.
Yes, this is.
Now, Snotlings are considered the best of stunties, right?
Oh.
Prosecco?
Yeah.
I'll see for captain.
Yeah.
Is he a real captain?
No, probably. He's the captain of my heart.
He does drink prosecco. I have seen it.
So this list, I'm just going to go on I'm going on a rant here.
Okay.
This is the worst, disgusting, most meta list in the whole tournament.
Right.
I hate this list. Fucking hate this list. He's got 16 players. Varg, Hackflem, Riders, rookies. You can cause 10 casualties to this list. He still starts with a full lineup on the next drive.
He's got one reroll.
Doesn't matter.
One reroll, and where's his bribe? Does he not have a
He
bribe?
does not have
You don't need it.
You don't
just-
just get a bribe.
Okay.
You just get the ball to Hackflem, and I hate this list. And hate it.
With that said, it is a game. Sounding like a true elf here. There is a ball. Play the ball. That is the solution to this list. Obviously, like I do actually agree that one year Matt just destroyed me with Snotlings, and at that point, like when you're too many players down, you can't play the ball anymore.
Yeah.
But if opposition teams live and they can play the ball, that's what you got to do. Because Hackflem's fine. Don't get me wrong, Hackflem's good, but Hackflem actually isn't like a Griff level ball carrier.
No.
It wouldn't actually surprise me if sometimes he might try pick up with Varag.
Yeah.
Because it's strength 5, edge 3 up. Varag does make a very annoying ball carrier at
And
times.
bear in mind, he does not have a cage. He can't make a cage.
Wow.
Well, he's got the stilty runners. The runners don't have
Ah,
hitchy.
okay.
There's only 2 of them. So,
Hmm.
yes, what John's talking about is the fact that you can, when players have titchy, you can dodge into that tackle zone.
So an elf
And
is
you
just up
don't
2+2.
Yeah, just 2 up.
Great.
So, yeah, so elf teams are going to be like, oh, what cage, you know? They just
Yeah.
walk in. It does hurt when you're playing a team like maybe Necro or Orcs, and you
Yes.
just dodge as well. Like, you know, you don't
Good.
want to be dodging with big guns. So,
Yeah.
But I'm just going to put it out here because obviously I look at this list and I go, because obviously I'm out to win the Stunty Cup.
Yes.
Stunty King. This is the one list that is obviously the one that is the one to beat.
Yes.
If anyone beats Jono, I'm buying you a drink. Like that is, I'm going to buy you a drink. If you beat this list, I'm going to buy you a drink.
And if you play against this list, do you think you'll?
I'm buying many drinks anyway.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
but yeah. This is, and the thing is, this is what's giving Stunties a bad name. The star player, Malako, the star caddy. It's just disgusting.
Well, we at some stage need to ask the question: is Stunty a real category?
Oh,
True.
It's-
Well, he is currently #1 in Vic Masters, John.
yeah, I mean, this is the thing. He's playing exceptionally well. So I'm having a bit of a laugh with it, but I want this list. I want him destroyed. I want him dead. I want Varric dead. I want Hackflem dead. I want them all dead.
The Fury 161.
So
Yeah.
Corn.
Okay, James CSF.
Yes, we all know James.
So the only thing, so James is obviously one of the best necro horror coaches in Australia. He's turned up with Corn.
Oh, I played him. He used ogres in his last
Yeah.
tournament.
So he's trying something new, which is fine. But
You don't seem happy though.
Yeah, Baz ain't for trying new things.
you just run into
Play
the
halflings every game.
This is you can make comments on this because he hasn't gone the big guy. He hasn't gone the Kongor. What is it? Kongor? What are they called?
Bloodseeker.
Blade Seeker. No, the other one. What's their big guy?
No. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who the names are so strange. I have no idea.
Yeah, the
Whatever
big
the
guy.
big guy is.
Yeah, because he's got claws. Because every time I play it, I'm petrified of it because obviously he kills my trees.
Yeah.
But he hasn't gone it because he has said this to me himself. He's too unreliable. And James likes reliable, and it's like, well, Corn is not reliable.
He's
Well, it'll be
he's got the
interesting.
block now.
One of the biggest problems for Corn is the fact that you only get 4 block in the Big V rule set, and Corn really just want block,
Yes.
because they throw in tons and tons of blocks. So
Is he thinking frenzy, sideline bonus?
I think a little bit, but Corn are actually pretty legit. Like the fact that in the tier 3, there's an extent to which frenzy is almost just like
Hey,
full upside when you're really good at positioning.
yeah, and it's
It's kind of just
it's like a pseudo block tackle because you're getting 4 blocks.
yeah.
as
You're
opposed to
between
2.
the knocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 It can be tricky though with Corn because sometimes I've been playing a bit of Corn recently and I've talked to James a bit about it. Corn always have trouble carrying the ball, and also with numbers. So there's the blocks your hands, only 11 people. Sometimes you kind of just have to like accept that you're just going to beat them up first with Corn and kind of go, you know. And sometimes, honestly, like as much as you have frenzy, it can be hard to actually like properly murder the opposition. Like sometimes you're not quite getting the numbers you need. So there is a tackle claw mighty blow piece, which
That
is
and that's like
He's
being
going
able
hard.
to get claws on your blitzing piece.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
With Juggernaut too, just why
Yeah.
not?
Well, Juggernaut's good because it doesn't have blocks, so
Yeah.
that means both downs
Yep.
are fine when you're blitzing.
Sure.
So and it's also strength 4 on a blitz.
Yeah.
So I mean this is a missile.
And it looks fun. It looks hard to use, but fun to use.
Corner really, really fun.
Yeah. And especially with the crowd rules. Yeah. Surf's up.
Do you think he can go far with this?
Absolutely not.
No, if
They're
you get sometimes if you get on a good run with Corn, you can just be like unstoppable.
And there's going to be some new players who just cop 7 surfs. You're like, oh, it happened again. Oh, no.
I would go as far as I reckon James will go at least 2 wins in the first day, and he'll struggle day 2.
Yep.
If he gets up against the top coaches, he'll still get a win or 2. I think he will struggle at the top. Just because it's a tricky list. That's the only reason.
I actually think that Corn are actually really good though against like the like elves and Skaven. I remember the first time I played against Corn, I think I was playing Woodies, and I was kind of like, oh, this will be easy. And then it was like, oh, like no, because you get so many blocks, you can actually try and really thin the numbers. Speaking of Skaven,
I'm keen. I was keen to look at Skaven because they are the new kid on the block for this tournament, with being the most popular. So you're going to play Skaven.
yeah.
Let's check out. You marked this as a good build for Skaven,
Yeah.
and what we should
Oh,
expect
but
to see.
Baz has been telling me that he thinks this coach is just complete garbage.
And we were all thinking, like, I think a lot of people. This one, Rabbit.
Yeah.
Rabbit, is he from Sydney?
So he runs Youth Bowl.
Right. Yes.
So Rabbit's been playing forever.
Right.
Yes.
No, I played him first game last year, and he scored with his horror a nice 3-3. He drawed only just right at the end.
Wow.
So,
He's actually taken the one turning from you because this team will be a one turning
yes,
menace.
because you got the gutter runner with sidestep, and pair that with the roger with jugs. You can all you have to do is you have to hit them like once or twice.
Yeah.
Into the sidestep piece, and you're one turning with the gutter runner.
And Juggernaut's good in that you stop the stand firm teams. So like there's quite a few necro.
Yep.
So you can kind of pick on them. And also obviously it turns the both down.
It's a bit more reliable. And since with that nega trait, you really need to be blitzing with the Rat Ogre more often than not.
Yeah. But what's the downside? What do you got? 12 players?
One reroll. That does not seem
there's
normal to me.
leader two, right? Yeah, there's leader. So two.
So two rerolls. But I think it's 12 players because he's...
He does have an Apo though. 12 players plus an Apo. I think that's enough players. It's just he's a bit light on rerolls as a result.
Oh, he went the Apo. Oh, right.
Yeah, so Apo kind of brings you up to 13 players.
Yeah.
When I was trying to make a Skaven list, it never even occurred to me to just drop to one reroll. I was messing around with, maybe 3 gutter runners.
Roll is low though. Honestly.
Yeah, 3 gutter runners.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
No, there's 4 gutter runners. Yeah, no, because you're right, John. You could drop to 3 gutter runners to get the reroll.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking at doing.
But then you got 35, right? That's how
There's a reason gutter runners are nuts. Like, I've seen people drop them, but I kind of never quite understand. It's like gutter runners.
If you're playing Skaven, you're playing 4 gutter runners. That's the team.
Yeah, and if you don't want to play 4 gutter runners, go play Underworld.
And he does. Has he got a thrower? Yeah,
Skinks.
he's got a thrower. So Skaven, Skaven is another team with sure hands built in. We might have mentioned.
Oh, so that's
a good point.
That's actually going to bump it up a lot. Yeah. Because obviously everyone will probably...
Well, funnily enough, there's lots of the Skaven will take strip ball themselves. I am curious to see how these gutter runners go. The one thing about 4 that's interesting is that you kind of like... Dodge strip ball gutter runner, honestly, not that great.
No, because you end up having to protect 50% of your team.
Yeah.
You know, you're defending a whole team with half of them.
And there are a lot of tackle that are just going to try and murder. And even if you got like block frenzy, that's good enough.
Yeah, because anytime I see a gutter runner by itself, I'm going.
But then if you see a Rat Ogre, you're like, let's take out the Rat Ogre. He's, only armor 9.
Doesn't have claws.
So Skaven is strange because we say all this. There's definitely downsides for Skaven, but at the end of the day, sometimes they'll just lose the drive, get scored on turn 8, and then just one turn. And
well, if he can do the one turn, he's always in with a shot.
Yeah, it can be hard to win though. It can be hard to win. So no.
All right.
Let's go to the next one. Who is Rabbit's son?
Son of Rabbit.
Son of Rabbit.
And there's also a new award this year.
Oh yeah.
For best coach under 18.
Oh, that's
yes.
Good.
So with so Kalimon is he actually played Orcs for the first time at Youth Bowl and won.
Wow.
Yeah. But he's only your age. He's only like 20 or something. But there is a new award of, I think it's a top coach under 18. I think there was 5 this year.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's great.
And as we always say, new coaches, young coaches,
easy to beat.
It should be under 24. That's what I was thinking. Does it have one up for grabs?
Always. If you get someone who's one of the younger guys, please encourage them because they're the future of this, of the tournament scene and everything.
Oh, it's awesome.
don't, I don't know, beat them 5-1 or something.
It was
Liam.
6-1.
6-1.
But I was once on the other side of that.
Yeah, you're young enough that
No
you're
one
like,
went easy on me. No one went easy on me. So don't go easy on them.
Yeah,
No one went
just
easy on me.
Make sure they have.
Don't go easy on them.
Make sure they have
It,
done.
you have actual extra incentive not to go easy on them
I-
because they get their own award.
But okay, so came on. Obviously, he's gone the straight. What we were talking
I
about.
suppose Frenzy is an interesting addition that you might not think of, to be honest.
It's good for a blitz piece.
Yeah.
Well, it helps. It helps surf. Frenzy's also just really good at
Yes.
making it way more likely you knock him over.
Yep. And he's gone the fairly clever choice of just ditching the thrower and just being like, no, I'll carry it with the blitzer
He did take sure hands.
on because he doesn't have a thrower. So he's taken that on the blitzer, which I think is the better choice. You don't want, how often, that's the one thing with Orcs where you'd be like, I can actually knock the thrower's got no skills. He's got no,
And it's so slow.
and it's slow.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But I look at that and go, why wouldn't you take the tackle on the frenzy piece?
Yeah, it's a little bit. But
That's the only thing I'd look at.
it can sometimes be good to not have to,
Mm.
because you know when you come up against the Zons, they'll stack all their
Yep.
players next to each other and make it hard for you. But
That was a difference between our list as well. I separated tackle. We had identical lists,
Yeah.
but I moved tackle away from wrestle, so that off the witch elf.
yeah.
Whereas
so
you
don't have
stacked.
to. No, I'm definitely stacking.
Yeah, which so you've got the better ball hawk.
But yes, you'll
But
have
I'm able
players
to
all
just-
day going to stick their blodger with someone right behind them. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm hoping to just go in and just be like, take out. I just want to take out Baz's halflings, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very
That's it.
reasonable. But no, Orcs are still good.
Orcs are still good.
There'll be less of them, which is good for those of us who don't like playing against Orcs. And we got to give Cullimon some credit. They did take a goblin,
Baz is
so at least there's a bit more. I'll give them a bit of fun
not-
Blair points.
Can you score a 1-turn touchdown?
not without a troll.
Don't. Not interested.
Crazy bunter.
So this is Ian Wood from SA, and he's gone the Union. Normally plays dwarves, so he's actually gone something fun. But yeah, this is a Union like list. What is it? 12 players, 3 rerolls. Yeah, wrestle, dodge, frenzy, dodge, guard. Yeah.
Interestingly, taking a guard with a double.
Yeah.
So those blitzes will be really annoying. Elf Union are often very if you can remove their blitzes,
Yeah.
sometimes they kind of crumble a bit. But a dodge guard blitzer, a blodge guard blitzer even is going to be a complete menace if it stays on the pitch.
Yeah, I'll give you a little antidote. So we were playing in the NAF online fumble tournament recently. I played a Union side. I had 11 block dice in a row against a blitzer, and he went all the way through, didn't hit him, and then I screwed up.
Yeah.
Lost the ball.
Yeah.
So they are super annoying.
No. If they live,
Because if they get on in a corner of a cage, all you do is you just chuck them on the corner of a cage. You block them. If you don't get them down, well, they're right in the middle.
Has an interstate coach ever won the Big V?
they did last year. Fode.
Oh, Fode is
Fode
from.
from-
You said that.
Yeah, first.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's a concern.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's going to do it again.
if it's an SA coach, we'll start getting really.
It's like all perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say that.
So up in Sydney, unbeknownst to us,
Mm-hmm.
they're probably crowing about this. They're probably like, oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
Vampires. Oh, vampire team.
Speaking
Very
of
He's
New
been
South
coach
Wales.
of Sydney.
Calais.
So this is Clay with the example of yeah. So the example of a standard vampire list, which is block, dodge, pro. No pro. What do you know?
People have no taste.
We all thought vampires would be hitting it huge. I think there was a couple tournaments when vampires just came out where it felt like, you were getting a quarter of the field as vampires. And
That's
You
partly
yourself.
because they were slightly broken in some of the rule sets, but
Yeah, right.
they're fine a bit.
If you can get block, dodge, pro on basically everything, they're overpowered.
they need more gold, more skills to become
Yes.
very good.
They get very good at about 1.3.
They
Very good.
With that said though, like then I wouldn't say they're bad at Big V. There's quite a few vampire teams. There's also Spider Bites playing one too. Who's played quite a lot. And the one thing they do have going for them is they're still very quick. So you still got the runners can one turn. This team will be probably, I imagine, quite aggressive. Really going just
I mean, it's ball.
kick short. Yeah. You're playing vamps. You go balls to the wall. That's how it works.
You were very close to playing vampires, weren't you?
Yeah, me and John had a warm-up game, and John schooled me, unfortunately.
I was using Dark Elves, and then I saw you had a Dark Elf team ended.
That was my second choice was
But
Dark
you were
Elves.
already thinking that. Oh.
But no, vampires are really good. Honestly, I need less stress.
Yeah.
Mildly stressful.
But this team is like, you want to play defense, you want to kick short, and you just get the ball back. You just hypno gaze everything, and you just get the ball back, score, and that's the game.
It must feel so powerful.
Oh, and we
The
don't have
power.
to take tackle because
No.
you just hypno gaze.
It's amazing.
Away. The one problem is they are with no big guy and two runners. They're not actually very strong.
Right.
So teams going to base you up all day and try and just go, oh, what's your throw going to do? So no, it can be a challenge, but I think we've been seeing lots of vampire coaches just will kind of if you fail a bite, you'll just go hide in the corner. Which we joke about pro, but I actually on my roster with you, I think I might have had one pro.
Just the one. Yeah.
But I think I was trying, because genuinely, it's not as good in the new rules where you can just go and stand in the corner and sure you turn over, but if you're positioning well,
Yeah.
you're not too
Bloodlust really doesn't seem to come into it that much to me. It's more just like keeping these guys alive so you've got enough on your team to do stuff.
Some days, if you have it like instantly Kaz a player, you're like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
But some days you just like stun the first three.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see the vampires get up there. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we'll see a
They were only
vampires
as
team
high as
top
like
10?
20th last year.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah, Clay won Stunty Cup last year with Flings
Okay.
and finished, I think, 8th.
So
but
he's
it's
kind of
good.
your nemesis.
What?
He's a good coach.
Eh?
He's kind of your nemesis.
me.
No, he's not playing Stunties this year.
So he does nothing to you now.
Who's this guy? No.
Right, speaking of foreigners,
Yeah, so,
got a Queenslander.
yeah, Kiltane. So, Kiltane, I think he finished very high last year. I think he finished 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's very good Queensland coach.
What is this name? Sandpaper Gate.
Well, it's
Well, it's the
Australian cricket theme.
cricket thing. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what
So he's gone down count. He's got the count.
he does.
Tomb Kings.
So he's gone Tomb Kings, and what's Tomb King's biggest problem? Can't carry the ball. Well, Count's a pretty good ball carrier, isn't he?
There are multiple
yeah.
Tomb King teams.
Really?
Yeah, there are. I've looked at
Yeah.
a few.
But you look at that is, Count's carrying the ball, and everything else is just blocking and fouling.
I love it. 3 Mighty Blow.
This team,
Guard
honestly,
and dirty player.
they'll actually be the sort of team where you're kind of like, oh, okay, I don't actually think this team's that good, but suddenly you get matched up against it, and you're like, oh, no.
Well,
He's stressed.
Sometimes you just lose because they just completely murder you.
But look at what's the problem here? No rerolls. 0.
That's true. That's pretty
That
funny.
is actually true. They got leader. To be honest, though, you're trying to make 3-die blocks. It's
But-
always a bit harder than.
But what do you need to do this side? Pick up the ball once with Count. Everything else is fine.
No, then that's all you need to do.
2+.
Pick it up.
Just
He's
2+.
got 5 strength 5 players.
He's
That's
ridiculous.
none of which have loner, but he doesn't have any rerolls, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I look at that and go, what's the one problem? There's no block.
Yeah, no. They are going to be so swingy. Like some days they're going to murder 2 players, and then it won't matter as much as if they both down. And some days they're going to murder no one, and they'll lose.
Yeah.
They'll do something catastrophically bad.
Yeah, this is an all or nothing. This it can either go. It'll probably go like something like 4-2. 4 wins.
Yeah.
There'll be no draws here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no draw.
No draws.
Good on him. I really like this team.
Nah, it will definitely be fun.
Yeah, and this is one of those sides you don't want to play because when they're on, there's nothing.
you just lose.
Or imagine you had a kind of strong team. You thought you had some Black Orcs or some Lizard Men. And you're just like, geez.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
All right.
And
And
then
we've got a Kiwi too.
yeah, one of two Kiwis making the journey over.
What's the movie the other Kiwi is?
I can't remember. Yeah, that one.
Mushroomy.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, he's.
Oh, that's the
guy.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the other guy.
Are they
Um,
playing?
but we're going to bring up. He's bringing over.
Yeah, go. No.
So bring up
this one?
Mushroomy.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So Mushroomy is coming over. Yep. And he's bringing citizens. So he's the one.
Ah.
One of one.
Wow.
And you can see where the swarming has come into it. You do have 16 with the bribe, but you're only ever going to have 11 on the pitch.
Hmm.
And a lot of those are gobbos and snots. They're not going to be on the pitch the whole drive.
Wow.
Yeah. But at the same time, this team, I think we kind of talked about before, they're going to just try and play like the Snotlings of Tono. They're going to try and completely obliterate other teams as much as possible. And then they'll just kind of go, oh, we don't actually care about playing the ball on your offense. We'll just wait for our one turn, get our one turn, then hopefully we've murdered enough of you that our own offense is easy. That's kind of the plan. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they go. I do honestly think that they're really not as good without swarming.
Yeah, without swarming, they are. They're just a. They're a side. They're a side.
Yeah. Yep.
Mashumi's pretty good though, and also the one turn threat is just so annoying. Because sometimes a game will just be going, you'll be like, all right, I had an awesome 8-turn drive. I beat up the other team a bit, and then they just score, and suddenly it's 1-1, and everything's to play for, and you're going, oh,
It's so annoying.
crap, where'd that game go?
It's so annoying, isn't it?
It's very annoying. Unfortunately, I did have the displeasure of playing Baz recently.
Actually, what
did go
why don't we just do it? Everyone probably wants to say. Well, why don't we bring up your list? We can talk about your list.
Yeah.
We haven't looked at Dark Elves yet.
Yeah.
Shamelessly stolen from John.
It's the same list,
Keep it
but
cool.
slightly
So,
different.
K.
Keep it cool for K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dark Elves, they're a perennial favourite.
Yeah, and they're always a
Yeah,
popular side.
that's good.
But you look at this side and you go, okay, you got 11, you got block dodge. Sure. What's the problem? 11 players. 11 players.
But armour 9.
A bit scary. Nah, they're pretty good armor, and you have some blodge. It'll be interesting. To see
Yeah. How did you go last year? Like roughly.
4 wins, 2 losses with Underworld.
Okay, and this is very different team.
Oh yeah. I think I've played different teams every big year.
Yeah, it's like that.
So no, it'll be fun.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, like what you're looking at, the witch elf is the ball. She gets into the cage, takes out the ball carrier, and who's carrying the ball doesn't matter. They're all H2.
Yeah, it's all about if you can get the ball off them or slow down their drive enough.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty confident you can score. Sometimes with Dark Elves, it's hard to score slowly enough.
Yes.
Sometimes you do find yourself, you're like, I kind of have to score on turn 6 when I don't want to because I can't stand here copping this beating for much longer. I've only got 11 players.
Nah, Dark Elves definitely pretty legit. But they can definitely, if this team suddenly is 3 players down, they're not as good as Wood Elves are playing the 3 players down because they're MA7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one downside.
The honest elves, I call them.
Yes, the evil ones that are underhanded, have assassins and all that evilness.
Yeah.
Did we actually look at any... Did you want to look at any fling teams, Baz, before we go?
You can bring up my side because everyone, sure, you can see what I'm running. But my side is different from last year, as we always joke, so go on. It is different from last year. So I dropped...
Oh, yes, you actually have some halfling technology.
Yes. So I dropped... So this is essentially the same side of last year, but I dropped Deep Root for Zug and Rodney, purely because Rodney, as a delivery guy to Dewfoot, and if no one knows, Dewfoot is my Edge 2 catcher who just scores all the touchdowns. He is the best delivery service. He's Uber Eats of...
It's funny that you assume people know Dewfoot, the character, the player.
Everyone.
No, I was going to say everyone knows who Jeff is coming.
But so I was able to drop Deep Root, get a hefty leader because I don't need on the ball because I've got Rodney with on the ball. And I've been playing this a bit. I like this list so much better than last year's one. Last year I went 3 wins, 3 draws, and as I was saying to you, I think I just got uber lucky.
Yeah,
I think I was just rolling white hot.
maybe.
But the thing is, deep root with 2 other block trees is a problem.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to, especially that mighty blow +2. Like I think I got really high in most casualties, and I wasn't even trying to score most casualties. It just happened.
We did some rough maths, and Baz, with a re-roll or 2, has a 90% chance of scoring a 1-turn, regardless of literally everything.
And it's like we're talking about this game, and it's just super annoying when you
Yeah, you
think
complete control.
So
Complete
heartbreaking.
control.
I
All these guys scattered on the ground. You kick the ball, just pick it up, hand off, throw, score.
half the time you just go for the score again on the other side. Suddenly
Well,
you're down, and you're like, oh no.
And I find that in tournament play, that puts the pressure on other coaches because it's just like, I'm playing a fucking stunty side and I'm losing.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse. Yeah, and also like as soon as they're down 2-1, like Orcs are like, oh, how am I supposed to score 2 more touchdowns?
Yeah.
Actually, there's one more roster if we can look
Yes,
at.
yes.
Right. I'm just trying to remember. Do you have my Excel spreadsheet up on here?
I do.
Because there's one. Everyone
The
else.
skills one or
the
the...
skills one. The skills one. We need to look for the team which took Pile Driver. So if you go way over to the right,
Okay, yeah.
this is Liam having way too much fun. Well,
Keep an eye out for Pile.
go all the way. It's all the way. It's all the way. There it is. Yeah, and go down for Pile Driver. Okay, I know which column it is. I screwed up the columns, but that's okay. I remember which one it is. There it is. There it is. Go across. It's a Black Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
161.
Cheers.
Yeah, third guy.
Thug, do you want to see his list?
Yeah. Bring that list up.
Bu-bu-bu-bu-bu-bu.
So there's a couple fun lists I have that we can look at real quick because they are funny. If you guys know of any lists, shout them out. This one is again a bit of the style of
I would like to check Mansky's list. He's kind of a big deal these days.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
you know,
we can have a look.
Yeah.
Now this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is this a new player, an old player, or just a...
I don't know, but I love them.
A madman.
Whoever they are.
I think Thug.
My hero.
I think looking at the NAF number, that's very recent.
Okay.
So that's,
Okay.
that's why you know.
With that said, this reminds me of that Kemry team.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that list's hilarious. And then you come up against it and you're like, oh.
I don't want to play this list.
No. I genuinely think it's kind of mildly scary.
Yeah, imagine
Because
just...
this so I joke about so we were playing on NAF online on Fumble thing, and Big Head took a similar kind of Black Hawks. He just flat out murdered everyone. Doesn't matter if your positioning's wrong if there's no one left on the bench.
Blackhawks aren't exactly great at win. Like I took Blackhawks 2 years ago to Big V, and I think I found like 2 snake GFIs to the end zone. They're just too slow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is the sort of team that you come up against, and you're like, oh, jeez. Like, it'll be hard to win because they kind of are pretty good at draws. Like, it'll be hard for this sort of team to go really too well. But this is a team, obviously. It's got Pile Driver and 3 sneaky gets. So we're bringing it up. It's also got 3 bribes.
3 mighty blow.
So basically, anything on the ground is getting fouled. Yeah. And that's it. So this is just going for pure.
And I kind of like it because you're playing Blackhawks. You kind of already accept, okay, you're not playing the best team. Yeah. Why not do something just insane?
Yeah. So if we
can get a bit lucky.
So the thing is, for example, a top coach coming up against this round 1, you might be like, oh, I can't beat this side. And then that's it. You don't.
Is there something to be said? I've thought about this for myself. If you know you're not the best coach, maybe you want to choose a more swingy team.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Steve.
It's hard.
Some games they will just win.
Yeah.
Because the opposition will just not exist.
Yeah.
So, no.
Let's check Mansky, see if he's still on Imperial Nobility.
I think he was.
Because he's played maybe 1,000 games of Blood Bowl 3 now.
Yeah, he recently did a 48-hour Blood Bowl 3 stream.
Oh, he's doing it again.
Fine.
He thinks he's seen through the Matrix and actually Imperial Nobility.
Do get a lot of skills with
Good.
That's something for them.
But
And look, he's only got one reroll.
yeah,
That's early. They got leader. You got tons of skill. You got like wrestling stuff, so you don't need.
But he didn't take break tackle. He loves break tackle.
Break tackles go.
He loves break tackle.
Couple of
There's one of
dodges
those
there.
things where every time I had to note it down, it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Take a real skill.
Frenzy, Juggernaut,
Yeah.
or just a dude.
Sometimes
Frenzy
the
and Juggernaut
nobility
are just
kings,
a dude.
actually, you look at their skills and you're like, that's kind of scary, and you just got to look at the stat line and kind of
Yeah.
calm
I
down a
mean,
bit.
yeah, like the problem with Nobles, I mean, you've got what, 11 players or 12 players here. Those linemen do not survive.
No, and they often, if they ever get tied up, like because they can't dodge, yeah, that's
That's
like they got Fan is helpful, but
yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're garbage.
It must be tough choosing dodge on a guy with edge 3, where you're like, he still can't dodge.
yeah, it's not. Yeah.
You know, but defensive
So
skill.
humans, but you know, nobility, they're always fun.
Yeah. One thing we didn't bring up when we were looking at Mushroom's list is the PAV. So those playing at home, the PAV is a little trophy that's going on. So any time a New Zealander and Australian play in the tournament, it goes into the PAV overall win. Australia at the moment is 5 wins up.
Okay.
There's 2 New Zealand coaches coming over.
That's good.
Shumi and
Mushroomy and Manchuria, whoever.
yeah.
Apologies.
So if you hear an accent,
So
realise.
just realise that yes, there is country pride on, because if Mushroomy and the other guy go get plus
Just a few
5,
wins.
few wins with no losses, the PAV goes back, and it's a very nice little big
Must be pretty old by
big trophy. Yeah. So there is something to be played on the line. So I hope you New Zealand guys make that known.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
New Zealand's are known for their dirty, underhanded tricks in sport against Australians. So, you know,
Exactly.
you gotta watch out for 'em.
So that probably covers most of what we wanted to talk about today.
yeah, let's go into the wind-up there, John.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say that going forward during the week, there's going to be Baz. You're going to be looking at the squads because that's part of the tournament.
Yep, so
the
there's-
team aspect.
I think
There's quite a lot of people.
Yeah, 24 squads of 4, so it's like half the field is in a squad. The win, you get, I don't know, like a little trophy. So this is squirrels.
It is entirely
this
the
is-
bragging rights.
This is all just bragging rights. Now, there's 2 squads that really, well, I would say maybe 3, you and your dad, would potentially be wins. So there would be Squirrel. So the guys who won it last year and the year before, Webb and Son. So that's Squirrel, Nubs, James, and someone else.
Matt. I like
Matt
how you
Red.
remembered Squirrel but not Matt. So,
So they've won it the last 2 years.
So-
They won it the last 2 years. Came down to the last round, last game kind of thing. And then there's a couple guys from Sydney. So there's Rabbit and Cullimore and Clay and Hutchie. That's the other side. I looked at that.
the other actually.
The big
is-
dogs.
Yeah.
I'm supporting, for the record, the big dogs
For
because they've remained a team all the way since way back
Yeah.
at Three Heads Team Tournament. That's loyalty, the only true friends.
Yeah.
And I will also say that if, while I don't necessarily think they're the best chance to win, if they do win, the SA boys, can you imagine how many
Like the stomping.
crap
Yeah.
Facebook
The
memes
stomping
you have to deal
prospect.
with?
Oh, yeah.
Like, in all seriousness, I don't think they're going to win, but if they do, we can't let that happen.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they might play each other to some extent, so already.
maybe.
Yeah. Meme war.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
That's about it.
Well, no, we want to go into who do you think's going to win, John?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Putting you on the spot.
I'm not going to give a player
Oh, this is
so much as I'm just going to guess the most successful race of the tournament.
define success.
Just performing above what you'd expect. When we look at the top 10 list, you're going to be like, oh,
So
jeez.
I reckon last year halflings were way above because
Yeah,
there was like 3 in the top 20.
Amazons.
Oh, that is
Oh, what a hot take! So hot take. I'll say Norse. I reckon Norse.
Yeah. Well, there's more.
So give us your winner. Don't say yourself.
Right, I was saying Norse are top. I reckon Hutchie's got a good list. Dad's got a good list. Morka. Yeah, no, I really like Norse. I reckon Norse are quite legit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I reckon I reckon Hutchie, if he turns up on day 2, he's very much potential, because I think Fo is very good and he's an exceptional coach, but I think people have thought about what he did last year, and he's going to struggle 6 games of people going out to beat him.
Plus, people just like play to tie you. He's always so
Bastard.
It's like, no, I'm happy with a tie.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's tough.
Yeah. So it's like
my tournament, please.
Yeah, so like legitimately to win the tournament, 6 will get you very much most likely.
Yeah.
5 wins will.
You should do it.
Wow.
Can I add one extra prediction? I think we're going to see Korn and Chaos Chosen represented high in the top 10.
I reckon
A couple of
I actually like
more
that.
than one.
They're good, but I reckon it's just they're kind of swingy. So there'll be some in the top 10.
Yeah,
There'll be some
but I reckon we're going to see like, oh, there's 2 or what the hell? There's 2 or 3.
No, I could see that. Especially Corn. I do like Corn.
I'm actually the most thing that I'm most is see how gnomes go in the stunty.
They're new stunties.
They don't get much dodge.
I reckon they're gonna be trash.
I looked.
I looked at them.
Those of you who did the who did my guessing tournament, where you had to guess which skills had only been taken once. People could guess and stuff like on the ball, fumble, risky, like all that kind of garbage, and all the gnome teams had like taken them multiple times.
Yeah.
Well,
they got no idea what to do.
Because they
What
took
can
their
we
4
do?
dodge. They took their 4 dodge, and then they're like,
Fuck.
Well, yeah, because like because I look at it like because with stunty says like gnomes are halfling light. The problem is getting the ball, and but gnomes, you're getting the ball to the foxes, and the foxes just die because their armor's 6. Like you cannot misposition them one bit, and they're your scoring piece. So you have to actually push them up, and people know that they're your scoring piece, so they just go after it.
Speaking of predictions, Baz's rankings.
Yeah,
Baz taking over the ranking for this
so
year.
they're coming
out
Tuesday, I think. So there's obviously some spicy.
Yeah, that was going to be on this show, but they said it was too hot to come out this early.
Yeah, we'd get demonetized.
And yeah.
Yeah, no, a bit of fun. Like, honestly, it has absolutely no bearing on anything except for your ego and pride, which
so for Blood Bowl is like
Yeah,
a lot.
everything.
And honestly, what do I know? I know nothing. So,
But you brought some science to it this year.
I did. I actually crunched. So I crunched the numbers. I got all the games, the NAF games, in a database, and I reran the numbers purely based on the 2020 rule set. So I've got NAF ratings based on the 2020 rule set only. So if you have played Skaven back in the Gillard government, doesn't count.
Rabbit. Not that Baz is calling anyone out.
No, not at all. But it does, because we were like, Liam and James and myself, we were kind of interested to see like some of these NAF ratings have been around for decades, like since the 2010, and it's just like, well, is that still a valid ranking? Whatever. Yes, it is, but it's more like it was just more interesting to see if you just ran the numbers of the current people currently playing, essentially.
What have you done for me lately?
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're right, and it'll be interesting to see how like how a coach like James or Rabbit goes.
Yeah.
Considering that they are, they're playing good teams and they're good coaches. It's just how well are they going to go with a team that isn't their usual.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's what I was bringing at the start of things. Like, so many people are taking teams they haven't normally played. It's just like, so it's a bit of honestly, I reckon it's a bit of a crapshoot who's going to actually finish up top.
Will the Vic Masters be decided at the end of Big V as well?
Oh, you're
Probably.
right up there, aren't you?
Probably.
Because you're second.
Who's in the running for that? Yourself?
Jono's first.
John's first.
You, Webb,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
Travis.
Dad's up there,
Yeah,
so
Trav.
Marco, and then also Durka. who was
Durka,
also
so-
up there last year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the top
Okay.
6 or so.
Yeah, and we're using this to be the squad selection for the state championship in New Zealand
That's awesome.
next year, September.
Yeah.
Grand final.
If you're in that top 6, you're almost guaranteed to get in if you come top 15 into the Big V. But even for those who aren't in the top, like Big V obviously has the most points in the line.
Yeah.
So you could sneak in.
Baz, you're ahead of me by a couple spots now.
Of course I am.
So
That could
this
be
is a good chance to figure
could be rectified.
bet justice.
Yeah.
Well, considering I finished 17th last year, John, good luck to you, mate.
All right.
All right, guys. I think we're good.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the tournament. Adios.